Yeah, that's really cool, really special. Honestly, not even on the spectrum of a goal of mine. I really just try to be the best player I can be and try to maximize my potential and my ability. So for that to be that one, not the end result, but an outcome of the work I've put in, I'm really proud of myself. And then it's a lot of credit to the guys up front and the guys on this team for aiding in my success. I really appreciate their efforts.
Do you feel like you're deserving of that award?
That's a weird, tough question. I don't know. I don't know. I don't look at other people's stats. I don't know where I fall in, or what I've done is to that level. But I'm in the running for that award, so I feel like I deserve it in some fashion.
What were the big takeaways from the last time you guys played the Commanders defensively?
Yeah, you got to play all 4 quarters with a team like this, and they're a tough, gritty team, and that's how we want to play too. So you can't take them lightly, and they have a lot of weapons a lot of angles they can attack you from the quarterback to the running backs, the receivers, a good offensive line, a great scheme. You got to play all 4 quarters for sure.
What's the key in your mind to keeping Jayden contained within the hash marks, I guess, rather than letting him get loose?
Yeah, it takes the whole defense from the back end and what we do in coverage to the guys up front and kind of crush rushing and containing him that way, not giving him escape lanes to get out of the pocket or escape through a B gap, because that's when he's most dangerous.
How comfortable, obviously you and Nakobe had a great rapport built up. How comfortable have you gotten with Oren over these past few games?
Yeah, over the past few games, and honestly throughout the whole season, we kind of jumble up the lineup just in case something were to happen. We were ready for this moment, and he's came in and done a tremendous job in handling himself and handling the scheme, and he's been preparing all year like he's going to be the starter. And that's the same way with Trot. And yeah, no worries about him. I'm really confident in his ability.
One of the things that Washington does really well is convert 4th downs. Your defense. How do you approach and see what they do, and how important is that phase of the game?
Yeah, they're an aggressive team in that way, so that kind of influences the way they play 3rd down too. So they might run the ball more on 3rd down, or they might throw shorter check downs on 3rd down. So it impacts the game in a lot of different ways than just the 4th down play itself.
How much is Nakobe still involved, just like in your day-to-day life these days?
Oh, a lot. He texted the group yesterday, and he's just such a personality on this team and such a leader. In him being gone, he still wants to be involved, and he's in our room, he's in the weight room. He's around the locker room, in the training room, of course, and he's still making an impact on this team for sure.
What did he text you?
What did he text me? He's like, I hope y'all doing good. Ball out on Sunday. Let's go.
That was kind of a weird game last time. You forced 5 turnovers, you give up 5 touchdown passes. Probably one of the worst games the defense has played this year. What was the reason for that? Have you been able to pin down what they did well and trying to fix that this week?
Yeah, I think just it comes down to limiting explosives. You look at the game, and the game came down to, obviously we had 5 turnovers, but too many explosive passes that were really uncharacteristic of this defense. And we pride ourselves on limiting those explosive plays. And in that game, we just didn't get it done.
How did you handle the increased pre-snap responsibility without Nakobe, and does that affect you at all?
No, I handled it pretty well, very well actually. Oren handles it very well. Just like I said, we prepare for moments like that in practice all the time. I'll go in with Oren and I'll make the call or make all the calls and checks during the pre-snap stuff. So it was pretty seamless.
As a guy, a veteran guy who hasn't really had a whole lot of playoff experience until this year, what has this kind of been like for you, and are you able to notice a difference between, maybe what's going on with this team camaraderie-wise compared to like maybe some of your others?
Yeah, I think obviously I've only been to the playoff once and had a kind of limited role, and we didn't get very far in that perspective, but I'm just so proud of this team about being in such a place where it's win or go home. But this team is so well connected, it doesn't feel like that. Like the guys we're just going about our regular routine, and we're not making this game bigger than it is. But at the end of the day, it is a big game, and guys got to show up for sure.
A
Couple more for Zach, and we're opening the locker room.
On that win or go home, you guys have had late game drives throughout the season with the game on the line, Atlanta, Washington, then with the season on the line last week. What did that do for your experience and what this defense has experienced to have those specific experiences?
Yeah, I think having those, like you said, having those experiences during the season really prepare you for moments like this in the playoffs when you might need to rely on your defense to make a last Jalen Carter to get a game-winning sack or a game-winning stop. I think those two games that we lost and our defense was on the field last, we learned a lot from, and that's why you were able to see last week. We've been there before, we've done that, and that's how far we've come this season.
Yeah, first 2 years in New Orleans when you played with CJ, what was that like? I guess having him as a teammate, and was there a difference when he was gone, whether it was toughness, personality, that kind of thing?
Yeah, he was honestly like our guy on defense. He was our starting nickel at the time. You could say he was one of the best nickels in the league, and just seeing how he worked there, and I just saw how smart he was, and he really knew our scheme there. So when we traded him, I was kind of confused, like, we just let go of our starting nickel, what? And then they're jumbling to figure out who's going to play nickel. And then I honestly had questions myself on if he was a safety because I'd never seen him play safety. And then to see him come here and do what he did here and then Detroit and then back to here, it's been a incredible journey for him. And his attitude hasn't changed. He hasn't wavered, and he's capitalizing on everything he's got.
Hey Zach, how much fun is it to watch Nolan, a guy at that size who plays the way he does?
Yeah, so fun. Just another guy on this defense with a chip on his shoulder for a different reason. For him, it might be people saying he's too small to be on the edge, but that's never the case in his mind. He's fast, physical, tough, dependable. He knows what to do, and the thing about him is he just keeps getting better and better and better.
What is CJ's perspective?
Plays for you guys, in passing plays that you guys gave up the last time you played the Commanders. There was also that one fourth down play where Daniels got loose and ripped off the 30 yards on a run. Do you remember what happened on that play? Was that him making a miraculous play? Was there a breakdown from you guys? Can you kind of take me through what happened on that play?
Yeah, there were multiple guys on that play that could have made the stop, and it came down to tackling and just missed opportunities.
Well, that's the other side of that CJ question. What's his perspective on the way that your career has turned around?
I don't know. You have to ask him that. I know he's really proud of me, for sure. We have a long history of a relationship and kind of been with each other through it all, and it's cool to be back here with him now.